Hi. Okay, so I'm going to talk about week 11 of The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. I have one more week to go after this. So week 11 was all about recovering a sense of autonomy, which was really kind of ironic because autonomy, that topic, was actually the center of a principle that I was teaching in a workshop. So it kind of like fell in my professional life, it came up, and then in my spiritual practice and, growth and journey, it came up again. So I thought that was really interesting, just the timing wise. I see that a lot actually, how there's always a crossover, and that's a good thing. So week 11 was, it was pretty cool. I don't know if I really have all the words to be able to share with you exactly the awesomeness that has been happening, but I'll do my best. So hit subscribe, click, because you gotta do it, right? That's the whole thing about this YouTube channel. You want subscribe, so subscribe. Thank you. So let's talk about week 11. All right. Well, she started off speaking about acceptance. Fair enough. Really talked a lot about cash flow and about being an artist. You usually don't have that steady income. And so you can't count on income coming in. It could be really erratic is what she calls it, right? And how working a 9-to-5 job is not good for the artist because it suffocates them. I actually think when I was thinking about it, it reminded me of, remember, if we think about the artist in you, the inner artist is your inner child. And what child likes to be stuck somewhere from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, being told what to do and not being able to be creative and play, right? So that's kind of where I was going with that. So it's difficult to do that. Some people struggle. And then, of course, when you make things don't always sell right away or may never sell. And then talks about credibility. And so how an artist may feel like they're not credible if they're not getting paid for their work or recognized for their work. And so that whole credibility piece comes in, and she talks about that. And just basically that your credibility is your creativity, and that's within, right? And when an artist creates, what needs to be created. So you can never just sit down and say, I'm going to create something right now and force it. It's something that comes naturally from within is what I'm taking away with this. And so she's just saying, like, be mindful of that and how your artist is handling maybe this routine and structure that's kind of stifling it, is I think was the word that she used. I don't think it was stifling. I think it was suffocate. Anyway, and then she starts talking about how artist self-respect comes from the work, comes from being creative. And that you don't need to be rich, but richly supported so you can create. And that kind of reminds me of just being in that safe place to create. And this is where all these little things all kind of fell into place for me this week. But remember that little mantra affirmation that I started because of the Artist Way about I am safe to create. So, and if you have supportive people in your life and you feel supported in your life, then your social engagement system is activated, and of course you're going to be creative because you're in that place. You're at a survival brain, so it makes complete sense to me. And then as she says here, the more you nurture your artist, the more adult you appear to be, which also kind of rung true to me. I highlighted it, in fact. Just made me think about, well, yeah, if you let the little girl play inside, then you are able to adult for a little bit. Kind of like we talk about with kids, right? You want to do 10, 15 minutes of like activity, motion, and then you want to do 10, 15 minutes of calming, relaxing, whether it's breathing or Play-Doh or coloring, and then you get that 15, 20 minutes of engagement and open to learning. So it makes complete sense that we would do that for an adult and do it for our inner child as well, right? So that's kind of okay. And then she talks about self-nurturing and self-respect. And then she got my attention because that's what I'm all about, is self-care, right? And practicing self-care is actually self-respect. And it's also setting out to everyone else as a role model, out of your intention into the world, that you are worthy. You are worthy of care, of kindness, compassion, and nice things, right? And how do you get that? By giving it to yourself. That's where it all starts. So she didn't really talk about that, but that's what I went from there, right? So that's all good. Is there anything here? Oh, she also talked about sabotaging the artist. And, you know, she really talked about like binge eating or using sex or drugs. You know, remember she talks about the U-turns and the sabotaging. Okay, fair enough. I thought it was really interesting, though, that it came up again in week 11 when I've caught myself sabotaging. Yeah. Oh, just wait. I'll tell you all about that one. But yay, I recognized it. And yay, I'm doing something about it. All right. So, but she did start talking about sabotaging, so I was like, ah, damn. And she also talked about basically how creativity is like oxygen for our soul. And that makes sense if we know that creativity comes from the source and that we are an extension of source. So yeah, it would make sense that it would be kind of similar to oxygen. So that kind of makes sense. And about how, you know, acknowledgement and knowledge and don't be irresponsible to killing your dreams, that kind of thing. So that was okay. You know, sometimes I kind of struggle a little bit with what she's putting out there, but I am able to really grab and what resonates with me, which I think is probably the whole point, right? And so that whole self-nurture piece, self-respect piece, that's what I really took away from this. And then she also talks about success. And creativity is a spiritual practice. And it makes sense when we believe that creativity is of our deepest selves. And to be creative is, you know, giving back to the divine. So that makes sense. And she talks about that in her principles, which I've been writing out every day in my morning pages. So yay me. And guess what? I'm actually going to have to read them out loud as part of one of my tasks. So yay, another reason to subscribe. Anyway, so then, I don't know. She kept talking about we will always, let's see, want more, we'll always want to be more, do more, and that it's an endless creativity, like unlimited potential and possibilities in your creativity in the source, which really then hit home for me for Abraham Hicks. And what they always talk about is that we'll always want more. It'll never be done. We'll always want more, right? For new experiences will come new things that we desire and want, which is awesome. So that's all good. And then she talks about the artist blocks, right? And usually consider like an artist block to be like a cerebral being, is what she says. Okay, so that's fine. I did a little bit here, and you're going to have to go through week 11 and go through the beginning. Basically, some takeaways that I have here is that we can't ignore our inner commitments. And when we do ignore our inner commitments, we see it in our outer lives. And then, of course, about the blocks and how, emotions need motion. She never said that, but that's what I took away from all my highlighting here, right? Emotions need motion. And just basically do that moving meditation, which, by the way, I discovered, I knew, but I reappreciated or rediscovered or was more intentional. When I'm spraying all my plants, I have a lot of plants. And when I was spraying them, that is so meditative. You just kind of get in that and you just watch, the spray land on the leaves, and it's very meditative and very calming and soothing. So that's pretty cool. And then again, she's also talking about the goal is to connect to the world outside of us and to lose that obsessive, self-focused, self-motive that we carry. I'm thinking that she's saying there, but we really want to be outside and have that for our source. And then here she's talking about, again, movement. And once again, I write, physical movement does shift the problem. So if you're stuck in a block, to get moving, to get exercising, to shake it out, because movement is actually going to nudge that block a little bit. It does that for your mood. It does it for beliefs. It's actually really good. Our bodies need movement. It's the thing. Yeah. Because again, I put here, movement shuts the mind off. So that's the kind of thing that I was taking away from the introduction of week 11. Is there any other thing on this page? Oh, here she talks about endorphin. So endorphin-induced natural high is one of the byproducts of exercise itself. So again, talking about exercise and the benefits. So guess what I write? Did you know that laughing for 5 minutes releases the same amount of endorphins as jogging for 1 hour? Right? And your body doesn't know the difference between fake laughter and real laughter. But your body knows the difference between real running and fake running. Yeah. Anyway, why wouldn't you laugh for 5 minutes to get that same kind of high? So I think that's pretty cool. And I like how I can do this book and really bring in the different pieces of my belief systems. It's all the same messaging, just presented differently, and that's really cool. I like that. And of course, what we take away. And then she has like building an artist altar. I'm a witch. I have several altars. So I have my gratitude altar. I have, well, my practicing witch altar, right? And then I have everything all over my house. So it's pretty good on that one. Okay, so let's talk about the tasks. And I'm going to put it all together today, introduction and the tasks. So the task, 1, tape your own voice recording the basic principles. Guess what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read the basic principles, which are right here. Right. I actually got to take water too for this one. This is a big deal. I'm going to read it out, record it. I write it out every morning though. And so now, as part of my task 1 of week 11, I am going to read out the basic principles. Creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy. 2, there is an underlying, indwelling creative force infusing all of life, including ourselves. 3, when we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the Creator's creativity within us and in our lives. 4, we are ourselves creations, and we, in turn, are meant to continue creativity by being creative ourselves. 5, creativity is the divine's gift to us. Using creativity is our gift back to the divine. The refusal to be creative is self-will, and it is counter to our true selves, our true nature. 7, when we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to the divine, good, orderly direction. 8, as we open our creativity or creative channel to the Creator, many gentle but powerful changes are to be expected. Basic principle 9, it is safe to open ourselves up to greater and greater creativity. And 10, our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move towards our dreams, we move towards our divinity. And then, of course, 11, which is the one I made up, is that I am safe to create. I am safe to create. So those are her principles. She wanted you to record them, and as I have to you guys, I think I've told you them before too, so yay you to get to hear it again. Okay, now back to, hang on, week 11, questions, tasks. I only have 1 more week left. So if you have any recommendations of another kind of self-help, self-healing, I don't know, kind of book that I could do that's similar to this, let me know. All right, week 11 tasks. So number 2, write out in longhand your artist prayer from week 4 and place it in your wallet, which I have, because remember we had to write a little prayer. Where is it? Hang on, let me see it. There we go. Here is my little artist prayer that I'm going to put in my wallet. I celebrate and honor my creative energy. I allow creativity to flow through me. I allow myself to experience the creative energy. Remember, darling, not all art exists in physical or material form. The art is within you. Oh, right? So I will keep that in my wallet as per my task. Next, buy yourself a special creativity notebook. Number pages 1 through 7. Give 1 page each to the following categories: health, possessions, leisure, relationships, creativity, career, and spirituality. With no thought as to practicality, list 10 wishes in each area. All right, it's a lot. Let yourself dream a little here. Now, this one here was a wow moment. Yeah, like I might even stop this video and make it a part 2 because wow, the things that I have learned here. So week 11, task 3 was that creativity notebook. Well, first of all, I thought I don't need a little book for writing out a list of wishes. So I just thought, well, I will just do it in my book here and write it out. That tells you kind of where I'm at and how I struggled with this. I know, right? So the first one was health. And I was like, okay, what would be my wish for health? Well, I said pain-free. 2, body moves and bends as it should. 3, maintain a healthy weight. 4, stretch, move more. 5, strong upper strength. That's what I'd like. 6, drink more water, stay hydrated. 7, active, be out in nature more. 9, again, be hydrated, a healthy glowing skin. 10, and continue to feel good about how I look. So those would be my health wishes. I think that sounds pretty good, and I think it covers a lot, and I feel okay with that. So I was like, all right, 1 down. Let's do it again. Possessions. If you could have anything you want in this world, doesn't matter what it is, what would it be? You think that one would be easy. You ready? Okay. 1, payment-free new car. 2, a cottage or a summer home. 3, own my own home or land. 4, unlimited crystals, plants, and candles. 5, new jackets and shoes. Maybe update, refresh closet. 6, skin creams. 7, and I was stretching here, a bike. And then I started thinking to myself, well, for Pete's sake, man, if you can have whatever you want, like, go for it. And I'm like, well, okay, well, I'd like to have a quad, but then where would I put the quad? And how would I get the quad? And where is it going to be? And where am I going to go quadding? And then I'm going to have to get a truck for the quad. And it was this whole thing in my head. Holy, right? Come on, man. We're supposed to have fun with this. Let's like think of anything you want. And then I say crystals and plants and candles. I was sitting here looking around my loft thinking, well, what more would I really want? I guess some more crystals. And then 8, so I really pushed myself because I'm like, come on, you have to want something. And I'm like, okay, a helicopter and a sailboat. 9, I said experiences, like doing things and traveling. But then that's not really a possession, right? And then 10, I thought I nailed it. Whatever I want, when I want it, without worry, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this one because it was hard. Like what I wrote there, I thought was really lame and hard when I could have anything at all, ever I wanted. So I carried on with the rest of the section, right? And I'll talk about it after. But some time had gone by and a friend came over. And so I said to him, let's play a game. I need to practice how to, daydream and dream. And I had to do this thing about possessions and I came up with some real lame ones. So when I started telling him about my crystals, plants, and candles, and he's like, why wouldn't you just go for a cave that had crystals in it? Like, what? When you want to possess a cave? Possess a cave with crystals? yeah, that would be awesome. I could do that. Like a mine? And then he's like, no, like a cave on an island, because I would own the island. And then I would have my yacht that would take me to this place that would have a cave that had crystals in it and a sloth, right? And so then we started just talking about what you could have. And yeah, I would love to have a quad. Well, yeah, you're going to have a quad in your property of 35 acres or 100 acres out in New Zealand. And you have your little landing where you live, but you go out into the woods and you want your quads to go there. And oh my goodness, like that makes so much sense. And you know what? I had a lot of fun coming up with a new list of things that I could do. And I think that's really important to kind of keep there in mind, is that I had a lot of fun coming up with this what if. Oh yeah, and kind of list. So that's going to be a teaser for what's coming up. All right, so that was my possessions. And I actually really did struggle with that one. So leisure, 10 wishes for leisure. And I basically said 1, curled up, reading a good book. 2, at the river or forest, nature, laying in moss. 3, laying at the beach. 4, just browsing, no rush, you know, maybe hitting a couple thrift stores or shopping stores or whatever, just diddle-daddling. I love to putter, actually. Baking, walking, patio in the garden. So like really zen puttering is what I call that. Being in a bathhouse or spa, I really enjoyed that, and I will definitely be doing that one again. Thank you, my boys. And of course, a bath, just that whole self-care and pampering. To me, that's leisure. So that's nice. I did that one pretty good. And then relationships. So my wishes for relationships, I thought with laughter and fun was number 1. 2, several male companions, dating fun. 3, friends, learning and growing. 4, continue relationships with my boys. 5, surround myself with like-minded people. 7, make more spiritual connections. 8, facilitate or host laughing yoga club. 9, use laughing yoga to repair relationships. 10, use laughing yoga to build relationships and connections. That's where I was kind of going with all of that. So those are my wishes for relationships. Sounds like a lot of laughter and fun, right? And healing. Next one was creativity. 5 wishes for that. Well, number 1, to paint a picture. That is something I do wish to do. 2, to continue to create my reality. 3, gardening, or rearranging my plants, you know, just nurturing them, caring for them. 4, more potions and lotions, little creations. 5, I want to do pottery and clay. That one's going to be happening real soon. 6, write a self-care workbook. I want to write a book. 7, create workshop presentations on self-care and various other things. 8, spell working, so do more of that. 9, conjuring ways up to inspire and motivate. 10, and a stronger communication connection to source. That would be my creativity wish list. 6, for my career. So I didn't have any problems with those ones at all. Like, career, I could have given you a lot more wishes than what I had. Man, the possession one was hard, and that's really interesting. Like, it really tells you where I kind of still am, hey? All right. 1, for career wishes. To work when I want. I want to be able to work when I want to work. Yeah. Being paid to practice self-care. That is my job. My job is to do self-care all day. Right? 3, working with people who have the capacity and the willingness to heal. 4, to continue to heal and build brains through laughter. 5, own my own business, have passive income within 5 years. 6, to be world known, sought after. Oh yeah. 8, to be educator of self-care and wellness. 9, to be a published author, a bestseller. And 10, people paying to hear me speak. I know. That one goes way back too. All right, the 7th one was spirituality, my wishes for that. So 1 was to live or have a house out in nature, surrounded by nature completely. 2, experience more of Gaia, so travel around. But really get into the heart of her is where I'd like to go. Places I haven't even heard of before. I would love to do that. 3, doing movement with elements. I'm getting into that again. It's really beautiful. 4, lay in the moss. 5, learn other tools and methods of spirituality, practice, and healing. There's so much that I don't know and so much more I need to learn. So I'm really excited about that. 7, sit with the trees or amongst the trees. 8, live with Source as my authentic self. And I don't have a 9 or a 10. I don't know. It'll come. So that was your task 3. Oh, I just bit my tongue. Now, let me share with you what I wrote for my possessions after I played my really fun game with my friend. Okay, you ready? Okay. So this is my 10 wishes for possessions. Number 1, my own crystal cave island. Number 2, multiple businesses / the cafe idea that I have. 3, access to what I want when I want it. So a home, a boat, quads, whatever I want to do. Oh, let's go do that. Okay, well, we'll go there and do it. And it's there. 4, like owning buildings. I really thought a library. I would love to own a library. 5, a yacht. 6, a car of my wanting when I want one. So whatever car I want, I get it. Then that's the car I'll have until I want another car, and I'll get that one. Remember, this is no practicality whatsoever, just my possessions. And it's also me learning and trying to pretend and to daydream. And what if, right? So 7, homes all over the world. 8, to buy what I want when I want. 9, beautiful gardens, like therapeutic gardens. 10, to always have $1 million in the bank account. That was my friend's idea, and I actually really like it. To always have $1 million. Even if I take out $350,000, bang, $1 million's in there. It never goes over $1 million. It never goes under $1 million. It's just always $1 million. Right? That would be my possession list. Okay. So now let's go back to stuff, because remember, there are some doozies that came out of all these things. There's more aha and ooh moments coming out of here. So task 4, and here we are. Task 4 was about honest changes that we did back in week 4. And so that one I kind of struggled with a little bit at that time, about having an inventory for ways that you have changed since beginning your recovery. So how have I changed since the beginning of this? Okay, here's what I said. I have an increased awareness of my thoughts and emotions and actions, increased ability to intervene, challenge, and the willingness to change it, to not stay in that vibration or that thought or that emotion. And I've also been able to see the ways that I sabotage, whether it's through avoidance, fixation, or, anger, rants. And that's where I come into one of my previous videos. I gotta get a drink, hang on. My previous video of truth, where I've been struggling. I'm trying really, really hard to have like a gratitude lens. How did I say this here? Oh, I don't know how I said it here. Oh yeah. I'm trying really hard to have a gratitude lens, to see a lens of abundance, to not see the suffering, to not see the injustice, to not see all the fucking bullshit that's happening out there, right? The bad. Because that's what's out there. And I don't want to see it. That's not my reality. I don't want to be part of it. So I've been really struggling though, because, well, it's there. It's hard not to see it. So then I have been able, like the homelessness and the addiction crisis and all that kind of stuff, I have been able to kind of wrap my head around that, and understand everyone has their own path, first of all. And then also understand that that there's abundance in what they have there. There really is, if you look at it. My girlfriend helped me walk through that one about, you know, when you look at the homeless camp, look at all the stuff they have. Wow, right? Anyway, so that's one thing there. Making it easier. But the injustice that's happening in the world and what's happening to women and our voices once again being silenced, you know, the man holding us down and fucking basically objectifying us and dismissing our experience and our worth and our value. And it got very angry about that. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to focus on that. I want good, positive energy. I don't want the injustice of the world. And it's so weird. This is where the synchronicities also came into play this week for me. Because when I was battling this, that's happening in our world, the injustice is what we're going to call it. When I was dealing with that, a whole bunch of video feeds came in. And also in my book, chapters and writing, things started coming out about the injustice in the world. And basically, it's going to come down to this. Do I want to focus all of my energy on the injustice of the world? Or do I want to focus all of my energy on wellness? Oh, wellness. Exactly. Right? And here's what I also learned. That little game that I played with my friend about, oh, if you could have any possession in the world, what would it be? What it would look like? What could we do? I had fun. I had fun playing and imagining and hearing what he put in and I put in. It was fun. It's a lot more fun than thinking about the injustice or talking about the injustice when I get so angry about it. That's not fun. That doesn't leave me in a good place. Talking about what if and wouldn't it be nice, that kind of stuff left me feeling good. And I want to play, playful, excited. Talking about the suffrage and injustice of the world that really have nothing to do with me, yeah, didn't make me feel very good. So here's what I'm going to be working on moving forward. Are you ready? I choose to be happy. And I choose to talk about things that make me feel good. I choose to feel happy and talk about things which make me feel good. Oh yeah, and I wrote that over and over and over again. I choose to feel happy and only talk about things that make me feel good. And that is what I'm going to be doing moving forward. I choose wellness. For now. So I choose to feel good and to talk about what makes me feel good only. And I'm hoping that's really going to help me get over this injustice that's happening right now and the anger that I feel over it, because that anger is not helping me in my process, let me tell you. Anyway, that's where I came from there. So now I'm going to go to, oh, I also had an aha moment during all of that rambling there when I was processing what I was going through, as I shared with you. There was actually an Instagram little thing, and it said, watching Succession is proof that you literally don't need to know what's going on to have a great time. Is this how a dog feels? Well, first of all, I can't speak to the TV show. I have no idea. But I get where they're going with that. A dog is always happy. A dog is always happy to be with you, no matter what you're doing, where you're going, what time, what the weather's like. He's always happy. So then I'm like, live life like a dog. Be happy no matter where you are. Choose to be happy. Choose to talk about things that make you feel good and happy. Choose to be around people that make you feel good and happy. So that's where I'm at. Live like a dog. Task 5. Wow. So doozy, again, this actually has been a really productive week, let me tell you. And I know I'm a bit late getting the video to you. That's how productive it was. So 5 ways I will change as I continue on this self-care journey to my authentic self. 1, my choices become more intentional and with purpose. I see that happening. 2, spending more time in the vortex. 3, my worldviews or my world lens becomes more to gratitude and abundance. 4, with more and more and more greater ideas I have. And 5, do more unconventional things. So these are 5 things that will continue to change as I go through my process. And those 5 things I actually wrote on a card and in another book because I want to make sure I remember that. Task 6 of week 11 is about ways to plan to nurture and take care of yourself for the next 6 months. I've got this one nailed. Okay, seriously, I do self-care every day. Every day I practice self-care. Sometimes, not gonna admit, sometimes I have to force myself to do it, but I do it. So, but some of the things that I'm gonna do over the next 6 months, I'm gonna be practicing laughing yoga weekly because I'm gonna be facilitating it to groups. So guess who's gonna be doing it? Weekly, me. That's awesome. I'm gonna get such great healing benefits from facilitating laughing yoga. 2, working on my life coach course. That starts next month. Yay me. More time out in nature with Gaia. And summer is coming here. Well, the warm weather, right? Yay, so I can be out more. And then a lot more movement and increasing with the movement and just doing the energy manipulation and flaring. And then, of course, number 1, self-care, choosing to be happy. That's what my number 1 self-care is. Live like a dog. Task 7, plan 1 week nurturing with that action. Well, I've done that. Like I do that every day. And what I have here is I really feel like I do this and my day is full. I have feelings of abundance, of love, wealth, success, and satisfaction. I really do feel satisfied and content, and yet eager and excited for what is next to unfold, what is about to manifest before me. I do baths, the London fog. I have my boys, I have my friends, my career, I have nature. I'm surrounded by nature. I have kindness to self. I'm doing what I enjoy doing, and I just feel really blessed. So I'm doing that task. So I thought that was pretty good. All right, we're almost done. So now task 8 is about writing and then mailing an encouraging letter to yourself or your little inner artist. And so I wrote an email to myself, but I also wrote a little here, so I'll read it to you. And it says, "Hi, Katie. I just want you to know that you did it. You are living a life of ease. You are doing things you enjoy. You feel loved and supported. You feel valid and heard. You are empowered. You are living your dreams. You do good work, and you help many others along their path of goodness. You make good choices, and you make people feel at ease. You're not only motivated, but you inspire others. You share your knowledge of your own experiences. You are in the right where you need to be right in this moment. You are safe to create. Always, Catherine." So look at me. And then task 9 is about re-examining your God concept. I feel really good here in this part, right? I do believe in a source. I believe in the creator. I believe that I'm an extension of source and that everything and everyone and everything is literally vibration experience, right? I believe all that kind of stuff. I believe in the power of the elements, the moon, the sun. So I feel good and confident about where my concept of God is. And then task 9 was take 10 examples of personal synchronicity that supports the possibility of nurturing creative force. This one was kind of hard, although I have a lot of experiences, like, well, a lot of examples, but things that it's hard for me to put into words. Like, I can't really explain it. Or maybe I tell you something, but you wouldn't know the connection to why it would be a synchronicity. But basically, I have things about just the Abraham Hicks and how what comes across my path and what I hear, and then it unfolds before me in a different place from something different, or connections coming out of woodworks of people of like-mindedness. Forest, rivers, moss, nature, that is right there an example of how there is a nurturing creative force. The sun, the moon, I already said the like-minded people and meeting them, connecting, everything always falling into place, no worry or concerns, just boop, and it just happens. That all tells me So those kind of things. And then that would be your tasks for week 11 of the Artist Way, Julia Camera. And then again, your check-in. So about how many weeks did you do your morning pages? I did morning pages every day. Sometimes not 3 pages, I admit that, but I have been doing them every day. And the experience is good. I do find that it's easier for me to do on the weekdays. On the weekends, if I sleep in and kind of my morning routine's kind of whacked out, so I do find that I do it later on the weekends, but I find routine structure helps a lot with that. And did I do an artist date this week? No. Shit. No, I didn't. But I really felt like we played. Had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing things, and I played, and I was social, and I felt good, and so we didn't actually go on a date by ourselves, but we'll do that. Oh, we went for ice cream. Ooh. Does that count? Okay, that counts. In the rain. We had ice cream in the rain, me and my inner child. It was just us. Well, and my dog. And then experience any synchronicity this week? Yes, I did. Long story short, I kept a card, like a business card of someone that I had. Ooh, I need to keep this. Is exactly what I thought to myself. I put it in my drawer. And I don't know, I contacted them, and let's just say it is synchronicity. Let's just leave it at that. Yay. And it's exciting. I've got a lot of exciting things happening right now. Can't wait to share. And any issues this week? Yeah, I did have issues. I had that block, and I was using fucking the injustice of the world, you know, and then the anger that I felt because of it to sabotage my good feelings and everything that was happening around me. So, done with that. I am focusing on wellness. I am not focusing on the injustice. I will not talk about things that make me angry or make me sad. I choose to be happy. And that's the takeaway from the week, I think. I choose to be happy. Wellness is where it's at. Who would have thought that self-care would be so life-changing? Anyway, we're hitting 42, 43 minutes, so I'm going to end it. This was week 11 of the Artist Way. I have one more week to go. Oh, yes. I know I say it like that, but I'm so thankful. And it's recovering a sense of faith. So yay. That should be a good one. You guys have a great night. Take care of you.